This is the Red Pill Reich. Now today we're gonna get into the height issue, because there's a lot of coping going on around here when it comes to the height question. One of the mistakes I see a lot of guys make when they debate these black pill lookism dudes is they allow the framing of the debate to be set such as looks versus game or whatever. And by doing that, you're not necessarily setting yourself up for failure, but you're setting yourself up in a situation where it's an uphill battle now, because you've allowed them to lay out the falsehood that attraction is just looks, which it's not. And I've already dealt with this in other videos. It's multimodal. And they'll stretch this further when they say something like, well, height is a looks amplifier. Well, this is bullshit, okay? Height has nothing to do with making you better looking, okay? Has nothing to do with that. Does it have something to do with attraction? Yes, but the mechanism, the biological imperative there is not because it makes you look better. It's like saying if a guy has a good voice or something, that makes him more attractive, but it has nothing to do with making you better looking. Same thing with height. Now, the reason women will prefer a man, and I've already covered what the ideal height is, that it's not 6'5", it's not 7 foot tall, and being some fucking giant, okay? And you can watch the other videos, okay? Anything beyond 6'1" is getting into high mutational load, okay? So, the ideal is actually it's the ideal is 1 to 2 inches above the average of where you live. So, in the United States and in the UK, where the average is 5'9", 1 to 2 inches would be 5'10", 5'11". That would be the ideal. Worldwide, the average is 5'8", so ideal would be 5'9" or 5'10". That is according to the facts of evolutionary psychology. Okay, and they've been studying this for a long time, and it's been consistent because those heights haven't changed much. So, the reason why women prefer a guy to be a little bit taller than average isn't because it makes you better looking. This is fucking stupid. The imperative there is because she will see that man as a more formidable man who will be able to defend her and protect her better than a tiny guy. Doesn't make you better looking. Now, to illustrate this, I'll give some little examples to hopefully, I know the black pillars are just going to keep pushing their grip, so this isn't really meant for them. It's meant for guys that are serious about finding the facts, okay? If you're driving down the road and you have a girl in your passenger seat and she's looking at billboards and there's guys on these billboards, within a few seconds she has already made up her mind whether he's good looking or not. So if she looks at a billboard, she sees a guy and she decides he's good looking. Well, if you turn around and say, oh, by the way, he's only 5 foot tall, it's not like he's automatically becomes ugly now. Oh, he's only 5 foot tall, he's ugly now. No, he's still a good looking dude to her. She may not want a guy that's 5 foot tall, but it has nothing to do with making him better looking or less attractive. It'll make him less attractive only in the biological imperative that, she would rather have a guy that's more formidable, not making him look better. So this idea that physical sexual attraction is just looks is bullshit, okay? And height is an attraction thing based on that biological imperative, not because it makes you look better. At the same time, if you're driving down the road and a girl sees a guy that she thinks isn't shit, and you say, oh, by the way, he's 6'5", she's not gonna be like, oh, he's hot now because he's 6'5". No, he's still shit. Okay, just because he's taller doesn't make him better looking. Yes, it is part of attraction, but not when it comes to being better looking. And that's what these clowns aren't distinguishing here in the black pill, because they're pushing the grift, of course. Now, another example. if you have three statues of a beautiful woman, right? Say Venus or the ideal woman you could think of in your own head, right? They're exactly the same fucking statue, same woman. Okay, but the only difference is one of them is 2 feet tall, one of them is around 5'4", and the other one is 20 foot tall. Well, it'd be very precarious to have a relationship with a 20 foot tall woman or a 2 foot tall woman. So ideally, you'll pick the one that's around 5'4" because that would be more compatible. Not because she's more beautiful. They're all equally beautiful. If these statues were like real women, I'm saying, if they had come to life, you know, you're going to pick the one that's around 5'4", not the one that's 20 foot tall. Not because she's better looking. Because it's ideal and compatible. Now, same thing. If you have a statue of Adonis, three guys, exactly the same, 3 statues. 2 foot tall, 20 foot tall, and 5'10". They're exactly the same. They're exactly equal in looks. The only difference is, yeah, it'd be very precarious for a woman to have a relationship with a 20 foot tall man or a 2 foot tall man. So she'll pick the man that's around 5'10". That would be more compatible and ideal. Not because he's better looking than the other. It has nothing to do with looks. It is part of attraction. But again, women don't want midgets, but they don't want fucking giants either. Both are freaks. And again, once you start getting past 6'1", you're getting into mutational load. So you got a lot of these guys out here coping and shit. And because all they have is height, when in fact a lot of these dudes are too fucking tall. But even if they were the ideal height, that's all they have. They've got nothing else. And the single most important attribute to have for a man as far as attraction goes when it comes to the body is the shoulder to waist ratio, okay? And a lot of these guys are severely lacking. Okay, and we all know who we're talking about here. So at least someone like Lux Maximus, I can give him credit because he points this out. He himself is 6'3", okay? But he showed pictures of himself when he was younger. And he admits it was horrible. This guy had horrible fucking shoulders. I mean, he didn't have any shoulders. Now he started using roids and gear and he got himself a little bit better. But even after all the work he's done with the gear, he still is kind of lacking in the shoulder region. But at least he admits that, that is a problem, But you got all these dipshits out here coping because they're tall and they think, that makes me a Chad now. You got QB Willie, you got Southern Israelite. I mean, these guys are all goofballs. But they're acting like they're something because, in fact, again, over 6'1", you're getting into mutational load. So all these dudes are just fucking coping with this shit. And then all the trolls actually cheer these guys on, like, oh, yeah, you're a Chad, man, because you're 6'4". No. So again, even if that was the ideal height, which is not, he's got no fucking frame, dude. So it would be over for them anywhere outside of clown world, oofy doofy law. So anyway, am I saying it's good to be short? No. I'm saying women don't want tiny guys, but as long as you're around the average for where you live, you're good to go, man. And yes, ideally they want a guy 1 to 2 inches above the average for the reasons I already outlined. Not because it makes you better looking. Okay, this is bullshit. Anyway, until next time, ciao.